All right, let's talk about the controversial chicken feed fermenting. So, I say controversial because there are some people that do not believe that it is good for your birds or that it is dangerous for your birds to have, that there is no nutrient reason to give to your birds or health benefits. I, on the other hand, know that is not necessarily true for the fact of when owning ducks, you do need to give your ducks niacin and other minerals to keep them healthy when they're ducklings and on through some of their young adult life and even later on in life. They need that niacin to be able to continue to be able to walk because you'll see them sometimes they'll get sluggish and be unable to stand. Their legs will bow inward, and if that happens, you have to reverse that process. And the only way to reverse that is by using niacin. There are other supplements and things you want to do, things like riboflavin and some other odds and ends that are in there. But you can cancel all that out just by doing your own fermented feed. We have a flock of ducks, over 70. I don't even remember the count of them anymore. And all we do is feed them the fermented food that we make. So, without sitting here and arguing too much whether fermented food is good for your animals or not, I'm going to tell you how to make it and some of the benefits as we're doing it. So, what you're going to do is keep in mind what your temperatures are when you're making your fermented feed. You want to make sure that you're keeping it between, say, 65 to 75 if you're doing a 3-day batch, say 3 to 4 day batch. If your temperatures are higher, say you're in the 80s to close to 90, you might want to only do 2 days. So we'll stop there and start with just how we do it. What we're going to do is a 3-day supply. So you can start off by doing this. I started yesterday. So this is yesterday's feed. We added the water to it. Number one note, do not use chlorinated water. If you have city water, filter your water. You don't want to have any of that in there. Also, if you're on well water, you want to know that your well water is good quality water. If not, again, you can use things like spring water that you'll get at the grocery store. The other thing you want to think about is the containers you're using. Make sure they're good, clean glass or food grade containers. Save your pickle jars. You can use them. Food safe buckets. You can get some at some sub shops sometimes. So anyway, back to it. This is the same amount of food as this is. So this was started yesterday. This is how high we are compared to where we're at here. Now, as I was saying, how simple it is. Good, clean water. You can have it room temperature, a little bit warmer. What you're going to do, pour your water in. It doesn't matter if you overfill. It only matters if you underfill this. If you underfill, problems you will have is molding. You don't want your food to stick out above the top of the water. You want to make sure you have plenty of water in there. That way, when this food soaks up the water, it doesn't stick out over the top. So all you're going to do, stir it up, get all that dry food mixed in, make it all nice and wet, let it sit, get your lid. Now I'm going to use the mason jar lid, and all I'm going to do is put that on there, and I'm not even going to tighten it at all. Because if you do, the fermenting is going to cause pressure in there. Just leave it on there. You don't want dust, dirt, or other debris to get in there. So now we have, this is going to be our second days. We're going to go back to our first days. We're going to stir that up again. You can see all the layers of it, things that are starting to ferment, bubble. You're going to want to see that bubbling. That bubbling means that yeast is doing its job. That is exactly what you want to see. Now you're going to set it back. So now that we have day 1 fermented, day 2 started, and day 3 is going to be tomorrow. Do not feed this until your 3rd day. So tomorrow, I could technically go out and feed this to the birds. So now it's just a matter of time. It sits here, it ferments, it bubbles. Things you're going to watch out for are mold. If you get molding, you'll get on the top a nice layer of foam, which that is all good. That's what you want to see. You may get a layer of what's called comm yeast on the top. That's really good. It kind of looks like mold, but it's not. It's kind of more milky white. That's good too. You're wanting to watch for any abnormalities, weird smells. Now it's fermented. We all know how fermented food smells like. Kombucha, sauerkraut, kimchi, things like that. It smells weird, but you still want that good smell to it. If it gets funky, and I mean like strong, sour, really bad milk, maybe the stinkiest cheese you can think of, maybe that kind of smell, then you might want to consider getting rid of it. So the concern most people have with this is saying it's alcohol. There's going to be a trace amount of alcohol, just as well as you have trace amount of alcohol in your kimchis, your kombuchas, things like that. It's going to happen. It's not going to be bad for the birds. An excess amount of alcohol absolutely is not good for your birds. But what will happen here is a change in the food makeup, nutrition-wise, because of the yeast doing its job. You're going to be getting better parts of vitamin B's, folic acid, riboflavin. But most importantly, what we're looking for is the niacin that this is going to produce. With doing this, we do not have to supplement our ducks at all from birth on to later on in adult life. They do not need any brewer's yeast or other supplements. This is what we give. This is what they get food-wise. They get to forage a little bit when they're older, but this is it. Any questions, please go ahead and comment below.